Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a mid-month for the month of January tarot oracle reading. And Libra, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Libra, we still all have a little bit of Libra in us. If you have your birth chart, which house is Libra in? That's where this will show up for you. My goal is to provide valuable information to empower you. This is a general or collective reading. Be advised that parts of it may or may not resonate with you. And it's also a timely reading, meaning it's always the perfect time when you view it. If you are viewing this sometime after I posted it, take a look at what was going on in your life when I did post it, and that may give you some more clarity regarding your situation. We're going to begin with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck, and we have the Fool. So this is a good way to start off, Libra. Off to a new journey. We're at the 0 point here. So this is talking about moving forward in a brand new cycle. This card's been coming up quite a bit because when we left 2025, it was a 9-year, 2 + 2 + 5 is 9, and that is the end of a cycle. And it's actually the end of pretty much like a decade of energy. And then the 2026, 2 + 2 + 6 is 10, that 1 + 0 is 1. It adds up to a beginning. A new beginning in a new year, and this is perfect. The Fool's saying, hey, it's time for you to go on a new journey now, a new cycle. Let's see, now we're going to get the underlying energy from the internal forces for the bottom part of my spread here. And this is to, the internal forces are the what ifs you have in your life. What if this happens? What if that happens? What if I do this? Will this happen? What if I do that? What will happen? That kind of energy. Whoa, we have... Okay, so we have this energy of your internal forces. You feel like you have been, like the energy is the underlying energies around the internal forces. This is someone who's been through a lot. And the energy is saying you've been stabbed in the back 10 times and left for unalive. And you're wanting that to change. I can see why you're ready for a new change. So this card represents the end of the cycle and the beginning of the new, like the rebirth, basically. We can see that also, like when you consider the eclipse, or sorry, not the eclipse, but the solstice was on the 21st of December, and this is January 8th now. So at that time, we had the very longest night of the year and the shortest day, and you may have noticed it is starting to get stay light a little bit longer, and the nights are a little bit shorter. We have the first card out. Okay, so this is good for you. You see yourself as this is a happily married or wanting to be happily married, and it's a card of fulfillment. You don't have to be married, but it's talking about having a commitment of some sort. And this is talking about like the beginning stages of fulfillment. So this is basically, you have the castle, you know, you have the partner, there's some small children here, that kind of energy. And that's why this card is considered the marriage card of the tarot. Having said that, it could just be a commitment about something you love to do or something you love to be. And it also represents the 1111 or 111 portal, which is a portal of energy through synchronicity of the universe. And you'll start when you're in that portal, you'll know it, or when you've gone through, because you'll start to notice, like all of a sudden you'll look at the clock and, oh, it's 111, or oh, it's 1111, or you go on, you're driving and someone cuts you off and their license plate is 111. You know, there's an address, 1111 11th Avenue. That's kind of the synchronicity of that is the universe is asking you at that moment, what are you thinking about? Check your thinking. What the universe is saying, you are a very powerful manifester, and you want to make sure your thoughts are exactly where they need to be, on what you want, not on what you don't want. So this says you definitely are favored for fulfillment. You'll have to put some energy into it. It's kind of like if you have the castle, you were able to make the down payment for the castle. Now you have to pay the mortgage payments, that kind of energy. And then we have, a cup of love coming in. So this is talking about, this is maybe something you've been wanting. and you've always seen yourself as being in this energy, but it hasn't happened yet. So this is the Ace of Cups, is a gift from the divine, from the universe, saying, you know, you deserve to have this fulfillment and happiness. The universe and God are going to send you the perfect partner so that you can achieve that. And you'll notice that this cup is overflowing, and it just keeps pouring into the water, and then it's like a fountain that just keeps pouring out. And so this is a love that will last. And also there's a dove at the top here representing a peaceful relationship, someone you can count on, someone that, you know, can count on you. And then we have here, we have the Five of Cups. So the Five of Cups, I feel like this is saying that you have some regrets regarding your love life. There's 3 cups here, and they're spilt, and there's wine out of 2 of them, and then there's some other liquid out of the other, and that's like a couple with a third person in it. And this person is standing in regret over what they've lost because of this, and are, you know, focused on that. And what it's saying is, if you want to change your situation and your love life, what you need to do is turn around and notice there's 2 cups standing behind you. And so it's time to pick them up, walk down the path, cross the bridge over troubled waters here, and go home to your castle. Now the castle is half empty, and or like half dilapidated and half standing, and that's representing, is the glass half full or is the glass half empty? What kind of attitude are you going to have? Are you going to have an attitude of gratitude for what you do have left standing and move forward with that? Or are you just going to stand here and stare at the ground all day? Because there's no way you're going to be able to recover that wine or water. This is saying crying over spilt milk. You can't recover it. And so this is causing you a lot of burdens. And this is kind of an interesting in this context, because this is again about going home. There's always a home kind of behind you or in the, you know, around you. And so this is talking about wanting to have a good home life, I feel like. And the wands represent action. And again, look at, we have a 10 here. So this is talking about if you plant seeds for, you know, growth in your life, and you nurture those seeds, and you could carry home that harvest. It might be very heavy because it's dripping with fruit. And there, you know, there might be a better way for you to get this home. Like, do you have a truck or something? That kind of energy. Like, do you have to do it by hand here? Could you get someone to help you carry this home, the harvest? This also can represent, and is more commonly thought of as having, like, carrying burdens that don't belong to you. So having to deal with burdens that you didn't take the actions that caused them, but now you are the one that has to deal with the energy. And then we have a Tower coming in. So yes, the Tower is a sudden, some information or something coming in where you get a reality check. And you notice there's 2 people, they're falling out of this tower. So, you know, the castle, isn't that interesting how we have so many castles here, Libra? And this is, see, Libra energy is when you're mature enough that you want a relationship that would be marriage, commitment, that you would raise a family, that you would have this home. You know, everybody's home is their castle kind of energy. And I feel like maybe other people's actions, other times you've been in relationships, that it has ended like this. And so, and maybe even to the point where you had to get a divorce, and it was, or your partner wanted to divorce you, or you wanted to divorce your partner, and then you had to sell your home, that kind of energy. That's what the energy I'm picking up. This can also represent that you've had a relationship with someone and you've given them 3 chances and they've blown it. Like, it's just not, it's too much. And now you want to have a new relationship with someone else. So let's see, it's different for each of you. Take what works for you. So the Tower is like communication from the universe. And at first the universe will whisper and say, hey, you might want to take a look at that. And then it's like the frying pan treatment, WAP, like, pay attention, look what's going on in your life. And then if you still don't get it, then it's the 2x4 treatment, where you're lightning hits your home and you're falling out and it's on fire, and it's a disaster kind of energy. Like, and you weren't expecting it, but your partner was, because they know they've been cheating on you. That kind of energy. And then we have the Three of Pentacles coming in. So the Three of Cups and the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is energy of you. The good news is that you have mastered your skill set and you are highly skilled. You're in an elevated position now. And so maybe that's why now you're looking, for some of you, you weren't looking at being married before because you were busy getting your papers. Like if you were, say you were getting papers to get into a trade, or you were going to university to get a degree, that kind of energy, like that you now have the paper and you're done the studying and apprenticing and you're ready to actually go out there and make money now. And the good news is people want to collaborate with you. The bad news is that this card quite often represents that, you'd be very careful who you collaborate with, because you want to make sure that if you're going to sign up with a company or you're going to sign up with different people or a partnership, if you're starting a business or whatever that is, you want to make sure that you are that they are in alignment with the same goals as you are. And it's important that you do this because otherwise it doesn't usually work out for the best. And this is warning that people might have ulterior reasons for asking you to partner up with them. They may see you as vulnerable because you're new and they know more than you, that kind of energy. So be very careful. And this saying that maybe that's what you've done. And you'll notice again, we have 3 people here. Again, so I feel like, there's some sort of energy that also involved the Pentacles. And we're going to take this from here, from this energy here, saying, okay, this is your identity. You feel that, hey, I deserve to have this fulfillment. I want to be married and have children, have a family. That's been my dream. And that if you're a Libra, I'm sure that it probably has. And then the universe is saying, well, of course, you deserve, this is how you consider your abundance. And you recognize that, why wouldn't you deserve this? You feel like you do deserve a good partner, that you have been a good partner, that you want to have a good partner, that you want to work with someone and build this together. And then this is talking about your communication from your early life. And quite often, if like we're raised in a family where maybe your parents didn't get along and you saw them fighting a lot, and then they lost their house or something like that, and as a young child you were your emotional foundation was kind of weakened by that energy, and maybe sometimes you felt like you were the reason why they were fighting or whatever. That kind of energy can cause a lot of insecurities when it comes to love, because you don't have a strong role model to to model yourself after, that kind of energy. And so quite often when people are raised in families where there's a lot of arguing and that kind of energy and drama, we subconsciously go out and search for that kind of energy in our relationships, because that's what we're most comfortable with, because that's what we when you're between the age when you're born and around 6 or 7 years of age is when your subconscious mind is formed. And when you think about it, you can't really remember most of that, but we have to rely on the people who are in charge of our upbringing to tell us, oh, you were like this or you were like that kind of energy. And the subconscious mind is heavily imprinted on us. When we get stressed out, the first mind that we go to is the subconscious mind. And so it can really make you feel uncomfortable if your subconscious mind is going like, this is boring. These people aren't even fighting, so that, it's talking about to have this, you may need to do some inner work on yourself regarding that. And because this is talking about how you view creativity, romance, and children. And so that, it's explosive energy instead of peaceful, right? And this is more what this is what you want, but this is what you attract, because your energy is more comfortable with what our subconscious mind is more comfortable with it. And when we are in positions of stress, we tend to rely on our subconscious mind first. which is like just, it sucks, but that's the way it is. And then this is talking about, yeah, you might want to change who you hang out with, the date, like who you date. That's what I'm getting. Like, what kind of person are you dating? You know, it's that kind of energy. Like maybe you're always dating the same type, like the bad boy type, or the, you know, the woman that that is like, you know, kind of snappy and like that kind of energy. And maybe what you need to do is date people that are all sorts of different people, so that you can kind of have an idea what it's like to date someone that maybe is totally opposite from your energy or like your energy. And so that's I'm getting that's the energy. Like this is totally possible for you. You can tell if your internal forces are weak when you're like laying awake at night saying, what if this happens? What if that happens? And I can guarantee you, you probably, if you're looking at this and this is the energy for the internal forces, like, oh, someone's always going to stab you in the back, you can't trust men, you can't trust women, that kind of energy, then, you know, that's what you end up attracting. And so recognizing that. And it's not even like you're doing it intentionally, like you're probably doing the opposite, you know, logically. But the universe and, you know, the attraction that you have them is like a magnet. And so the magnet attracts what your vibration is to you. And then we have another gift from the universe coming in. And this is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So what I said here is saying, yes, God is saying, yes, you deserve this. You deserve, that's why I'm sending someone to you. But you have to be open-minded. You have to look at it from a different person if you don't want it to end up like this again. And then we have, okay, we have death here. So this, don't get scared by this card. This doesn't, very rarely does it actually mean death. But this is a card saying that you are at the end of a cycle. Like this is a transition happening, death and rebirth kind of energy again. So it's saying it again. The external force is coming in. This is kind of the energy that's out there right now. And the energy is, you know, we're on the 17th of February. We will be moving into the Chinese New Year, and that will be the year of the fire horse. And so when the horses come in, that's what I pay attention to. And so the horse is coming in and saying to you, like today is January the 8th kind of energy. We've been in the new year for about 6 days. If you're thinking, oh, I already blew my resolution and it's already gone like usual, and I'm like, you're kind of upset about it. Don't fret. You can always rely on the year of the fire horse, Chinese zodiac New Year, and set your resolution again. But work towards it now. And this again is saying the flag represents the light at the end of the tunnel. When we're born, we go through the tunnel, and there's light at the end of the tunnel. When we pass out to the next realm, we are going down the tunnel of darkness, and then God catches us on the other end. So the major difference is people are more afraid of death than rebirth, but the major difference is when you are born, you might get caught by a couple of idiots, where God, if on the other side of it, God knows exactly what to do with you. So that's the energy there. And it's saying, again, that this is the truth. You do deserve this, and you just need to sort of change your approach to it, I'm getting, more than anything, so that you can be like on this new cycle, attracting the energy that you deserve to attract. And then we have the Page of Swords coming in. And the Page of Swords is like I'm some sort of message, a communication. And the Page of Swords is usually someone from, a family that has pretty more professional people. A lot of times people that are more professional golf, and because golf is not a sport for low income people, for sure. It's an expensive sport. Having said that, this reminds me of a golfing pose. And what the swords represent is your mental intelligence and your control over your mind. Because if you have discipline over your mind when it comes to matters like this, then you're going to make stronger choices. And so you're not just going to react to what the external forces, you're going to actually respond to them instead. And so that's kind of, I'm getting like, that's what you need to kind of adopt that energy. And golf is the kind of sport that you, when you're golfing, you are not in competition with anyone but yourself. And it's more about getting the next best, like the best score you can on the course, better than the last time you were there. That's the kind of energy. And so that's, that's what God is saying here, basically, I feel, is that you need to set your standards high and then rise up yourself to those standards and hold your partners to a high standard. Like if you hold yourself to a high standard when it comes to love, then you won't even attract the ones that aren't in that energy. So this is some form of communication coming in. The pages used to work for the court, and generally they would start working for the court from 7 to 14, and then if they were, good at doing what they were doing and they had enough money to buy a horse, they might be put up for knighthood. So this is talking about attracting someone that can afford a castle eventually. They might not be able to now, but they would have that as as a goal. And so what this is saying is raise your standards for yourself. And don't be afraid to do that. And then you will attract that kind of energy to yourself. As you become that, you will attract it. And we have the King of Wands. So the King of Wands is a really very charismatic guy. He's the kind of guy you wouldn't kick out of bed for eating crackers. He's very charming, very, well-liked. He's quite often the life of the party. Very passionate and a lot of fun to be with. He's a visionary. A lot of times it's an entrepreneur energy, someone with an open mind, like this energy, that has, enthusiasm for doing new things and for tackling projects. And like, as I said, generally someone who isn't in your typical line of work, but is more like someone, it would be like someone like if you were, you received your ticket for a trade, and instead of going to work for someone, they start their own company, that kind of energy. So it's about being really enjoying the mysteries of life and loving to go after, setting a goal that has some difficulty to it, so that, and that's basically like the year of the horse is about that, the fiery horse. It's about setting very, high goals for yourself and for your business, and, setting like very free-spirited about it, like really enjoying it, not like it's drudgery, but hey, I'm really passionate about this. I don't even notice the time going by because I love my work, and I love my family, and I love my partner, that kind of energy. So it's like, it's not something that is unpleasant. It's something that, wow, let's work on this together. This is so exciting, and, empowering each other. Really good energy. And so sometimes this is saying, like, we have two knights here now. And, or not two knights, but we have two horses, sorry. And this is saying you might have been thinking, I'm never going to find this person, there's no way. But the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest in the deck, right? The slowest knight. There's 4 of them. And of all 4, he is the one that's the slowest. And so his horse is even at a standstill, that kind of energy. But when this person comes in, the reason why he is a lot of the times so slow to come forward is because he doesn't want to come forward and approach you until he has his shift together, because he recognizes you as being a very high quality person, and he wants to he doesn't want to blow it. He wants to do things right. When he decides, okay, because this energy can be a bit of a player, because everybody wants to be with him, but the energy is like, once he's ready to settle down, he doesn't want to settle. He wants to settle with someone that he really enjoys, and that is his real divine partner. And so perhaps you've been, a little bit slow in the love department lately, and you just, it just doesn't seem like anything's happening there. And it might be because this energy is coming in, and perhaps you've even been working on yourself. You might be someone that is divorced from a previous relationship because of this energy, not having the same goals in mind and feeling really sabotaged. Like perhaps, like there could be a bazillion reasons why that would happen. And one of them would be this here, having a third party involved in the relationship. So this is just talking about sometimes, like the tortoise and the hare go for a race, and that the tortoise wins because he's slow and steady, and the hare gets running around and that's the danger of the fire horse energy for 2026, is for people that are already fiery and like to do a lot and are aggressive that way. It can be the kind of energy where it drives you forward so much that you are in a position where you're let's do this, and then I start this project, and never taking the time to really slow down a little bit and enjoy your victories in between, and take the time to enjoy that with someone that you love. Like that's the energy. So sometimes slow is better than fast. Fast energy in love quite often, this is saying that when the Knight of Pentacles comes in with a pentacle like this is saying he's willing to share his assets with you. He's not just looking to be with you one night and then, okay, bye. It's not that kind of energy. He really has his eye on you, and he's willing to share his assets with you. And then we have the Justice coming in. And I just am getting, this is like, yeah, you deserve this. I'm getting like, this is an energy that, it's that Libra energy. It's like, I want to get married and have kids and have that family. And I don't want to do it like my parents did it or like my grandparents did it. I want to do it my own way with my partner. And I want it to be really awesome. And I'm willing to put the work in to do that and to have that. And so that's the energy about it. Using, your logic and your intuition so that you can be more intuitive about how you go about it, making sure that, that you know what you want. Like, yourself first and foremost first, that you love yourself enough to find that out. So you know what you do and do not want without having to go through like hardship after hardship in relationships to find out the hard way. And then we have the energy of the Page of Pentacles. So the Page of Pentacles is talking about, some sort of communication coming in now. Finally, this Knight has decided, okay, I'm going to ask her out, or I'm going to ask him out, or he's going to ask me out, that kind of energy. So recognizing that all the figures in the tarot are archetypes. And of course, in the past, the knights would always have been male, but now they could just as easily be female. So this, I feel, is like, oh, someone wants to ask you out on a date, and God is saying, hey, you deserve this person. You're really going to enjoy this person. Don't be like closed mind about it, Be open-minded to the thought that, hey, if this is someone a little bit different from what you're used to, it's okay. If he's moved a little bit slow, it's because he respects you. That's the kind of energy. And yeah, I like this for you, Libra. It's a really good energy for the stage of life that Libra's in. And what I like about it also is we have the scales of justice there, here. So this is like God recognizes, hey, you're ready. And this person's ready. Yeah, I like the energy. This looks like it's someone, I like the combination of the passion and the respect, It's a really good mix. If you're enjoying this reading, please do like and comment, and let's clarify it for you a little bit more here. I'm going to use my Oracle, Tales from the Vector, and it's something that I started in 2007. I'm an artist. I painted 64 paintings for it. Took me till 2020 to finish all the paintings, and now I'm working on bringing it out here, and I'm gathering the information that will go along with it. I have a website, talesfromthevector.com, and that's TAILS, And in the gallery on the website, I have the paintings, the numbers of the paintings on these cards represent the painting number in the gallery. And I will put in the description box below the order as they come up here, so that, oh, there's the card that wants to come out. And this is the energy. So then if in the description box below, I'll put them in the order that they come here, so you'll know which ones to look up if you're interested in doing that. We have, clarifying this, the death again, yeah. I feel like this is on both of these. And this is like saying that energy is over. You're on a new journey now. Death and rebirth, transition. You're making a major transition for the better. You're at the 0 point. You're like a blank canvas, just ready for all this good shift coming in for you. This is awesome energy. And then we have the Libra energy. This belongs here more. So this is saying, I just feel like you're tired of being, you're ready, you're ready for marriage, and you don't want to be dating the same kind of energy you were in before you weren't ready, and that's okay. And so you're here representing yourself saying, I'm ready. I want it. This is what I want. And when you know what you want, then you're more likely to get it, because you're going to attract that. And this is the pride. So this is talking about, some people, instead of settling down, they settle. Like, so they end up with partners just because they don't want to be alone. And I feel like on some level, especially if, the number 35 is here. When I'm dealing with horoscope cards, when they come up in a reading, a general reading like this, I'm actually saying, not so much about, oh, this person is that sign or that person is that sign. This is more about what is the qualities, like the state of being, when this sign is in its strongest energy. What can we learn from it? And this is when some people are old enough to socialize and everything. And this is about the Venus energy. And right now, we're in Capricorn, the sign of Capricorn. And Capricorn energy is, also very mature energy regarding the pentacle. And it's about people who are at its finest, that are responsible enough to be able to work towards what they want. And the Capricorn energy is the most public image savvy, of all the signs. They want fine things in life. They're a pentacle sign. That's their job, is to bring the thoughts that they have down to earth. But that Capricorn energy is ruled by Saturn, and that's a real strong energy, a deep energy. And with that moon that we just had on January 3rd was in Cancer, and that energy is right across from the chart in the horoscope from Capricorn. So they were opposing each other, and also in that sign, in the sign of Capricorn. And we still have this, like the moon now, that energy is easing off. But in the sign of Capricorn right now, we have the planet, we have the sun, and we have Mars, and we have Venus. And if you ever heard of that book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, it kind of highlighted, hey, any areas where you might need to work on that male, female, masculine, feminine energy within yourself, first and foremost, so that you can attract strong people that are already balanced in their masculine and feminine energies as well. And that energy is going to be in Capricorn for some time. And so this is kind of like, that's the energy that you want to be in, is just being really balanced in yourself first and foremost, and then moving forward. And I feel like a lot of people, by the time they're about 35, they're more ready for that than, say, if you're even 25, for a lot of people. Not always, but it can be challenging to raise children. 25 isn't too bad, but any younger than that, I don't know, like the male, like they're talking now that your frontal lobe of your brain actually doesn't even finish developing until, like, they used to say like 21. Now they're saying it's like 23 or 24 kind of energy. So you want to make sure you're mature enough to make that decision, and you're going to choose a different partner that, if you're not planning to marry them, than if you are. But a lot of women have a tendency to do that. Women are taught, that we're supposed to look for Prince Charming. And men are taught that they need to be Prince Charming until they find the one. That's, you know, that kind of energy. And so this is talking, oh, surrender it to God. Maybe you prayed to God and said, hey, I really want, could you please send me my perfect divine partner? And then we yeah, I feel like, okay, this is scotoma. It's about having a blind spot around your love life. And I feel like that is embedded in your subconscious mind. And so that, you know, maybe you didn't have the perfect role models. Or on the other hand, your parents might have the most perfect marriage and everything's perfect, perfect, perfect. And you're like, man, why can't I find someone like my mom? Why can't I find someone like my dad? Like, seriously. And then we have the Aquarius energy. And oh, this card's been coming up a little bit more too now. So this is Uranus, is rules the Aquarius. And then it's talking about Aquarius energy is taking things, like even your love life, it's not all emotion. You want to have it be like somewhat logical, and being willing to date different people, to experiment, to see, like being not opposed to going out with someone on a date that it's just a date, you know, that would not necessarily be your type that you would normally go out with. You may find that to be a very interesting experiment, right? And also, it's January 8th when today and tonight in the northern sky, you can see the planet Uranus is kind of lined up with the moon, and the moon's kind of in a, it's not a new moon yet. It's more like the sickle moon right now. And in some areas of the world, if it's not cloudy and you're in the right place, you'll be able to see this energy come together. And it has like a real strong cosmic truth to it. So that Uranus energy is coming up as well. And then we have the world. So the world is the end of the cycle, and we're moving into the new. So some sort of reality check came. And in my oracle, the tower is actually divorce. So, and the worst divorce is from source kind of energy. That may be for some of you. You might have separated from someone or gotten divorced. There may have been some cheating, you know, that kind of energy. Or there's something, some habit they have or whatever that you just can't accept, and you've given them 3 chances and 3 strikes, you're out kind of energy. Or they've done that with you. You know, whatever works, you know, for you, take it, you know, the information just to improve your situation. Dissemination of information. All right. So sometimes we could, you know, a lot of times when people are saying, hey, you know, if you want to motivate yourself, you know, you have to believe in yourself. And I find that a lot of people have limiting beliefs about themselves. And especially when it comes to love, like maybe I wasn't pretty enough. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm not smart enough. Maybe I'm not lovable. Maybe I'm not supposed to have love. And if you actually start believing in your own press, then it'll be like, elephant? What elephant? I'm not like that. Yes, yeah, you are. And so this is dissemination of information where it's scrambled and you don't really understand it, you know, like you don't really, and that's why once you get to know yourself well enough, if you take the time to do that, then you're going to attract people that, you know, are in that same energy as you. And I don't mean exactly the same, but in the same phase of life where they're wanting the same things. Because sometimes you could meet someone that that's really awesome, and you just like, whoa, I just love this person. But the problem is they don't want to settle down, and you do, or they want to settle down and you're not ready yet, and that very rarely works out very well. So the external forces is like wanting to come to the truth. And you might have some anger regarding your situation, as well as disappointment, a lot of mixed emotions. You might even like it's the most challenging emotions of all are the ones when they're mixed, because you might really love someone, but you just can't live with them anymore. And that's just the way it is. And that's on the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God. So you need to find someone that's compatible with your, you know, that's in alignment with the same values, at least, that you have, you know, that kind of energy. And here, like getting into these external forces, this is the house of commitment and marriage and partnerships. And look at what's in there. It's over. Whatever the past relationship was, if you were in one. Yeah, you're done with it, and you need to be done with it to be able to receive this, right? And I'm getting it. You could be angry still because especially if it was this kind of situation, that's the truth. The truth isn't always pleasant, but it will set you free, and that's what God's saying. You deserve to be free of that energy and move into better. 26 is your time to have harmony and be a superstar, or attract one too. And this is about transformation. And this is secrets and shared resources. So that was the energy I was picking up also, is that someone may have, they might have had a gambling habit or something like that, or they spent money money ran through their fingers like water, and so you would never be able to afford to have a home with this person because they just aren't responsible when it comes to money, and it just got to be too much for you. And then this is about denial. So this is talking again, like this page is not focused on his sword, on his thoughts. He's focused on something in the distance. And that's kind of maybe not paying attention to when you first meet someone, like right away whether you're attracted to them or not. And sometimes you'll have this feeling and you'll think, oh, but you don't listen to, like, they're really good looking or they're really charming or whatever. So you like, oh, and then you warm up to them, which happens. But sometimes that very first feeling that you get like that, there's something that if you have that, you really want to look into that deeper, right? And then we have the Gemini energy. And what just came up too is to say this with you. Until the 26th of January, Neptune, which is a very deep planet, and it's been in Pisces energy for 14 years. It sits in each house for 14 years. And it's been kind of moving back and forth from Pisces into Aries, and now it's moving on the 26th of January. It will be in in Aries for the next 14 years, and it won't be back in Pisces for 144 years or whatever. So it won't be in your lifetime again. And that energy of Neptune when it's in Pisces is about like having big dreams and working towards it. So it's kind of like this energy of if you want to attract this love, act like you're already that person. You know what I mean? Like put yourself in that energy, especially because this is about having dreams that you thought, oh, this could never be possible, having them come true. And so this energy here is about higher learning and travel. And hey, if you like to travel, this is a good way to communicate. You can learn a lot from other cultures and from traveling. This kind of energy is like recognizing that, like, to have someone you can travel with, lots and lots of fun. And then this is about your career and your reputation. And I feel like, again, it was here, feeling kind of left out because maybe your friends are all married and, you're not yet, that kind of energy. Not all of them, but some of them. Some of them may... it's really funny, like when you get divorced, some of them might even be jealous of you, but they're just not saying so. So this is the Wheel of Fortune. That again is saying that destiny is changing in this new beginning again. Really making it really clear to you that you're not the same person as you used to be. The reality check really did its work for you. And you might have been with someone who is really jealous, or you might have felt jealous all the time because they were maybe paying attention to other women or men, that kind of energy. So if you're in that energy where you're jealous and you're wondering if your partner's cheating on you, then you're probably with the wrong partner, really, when you think about it. And then lack of awareness. Yeah, if you're, I'm just getting that also on the other side of that is, of that jealousy thing, what I just said is just, where is that energy? Yeah, kind of like this kind of energy here also. Just being in an energy of not really wanting to see the truth because you don't want to go through another breakup kind of energy. That's the kind of energy I'm picking up. But it's, or staying in a relationship that hey, this isn't for me, it's not going to work, but I'm going to give them one more chance. And this causes you to have a lot of missed opportunities. If you're hanging on to a relationship that is not going to work, you could, you're missing out on going through the healing process and being able to be with someone that does suit you better. So yeah, this is really good advice, Libra. I really like this for the Libra energy. Right up your alley. And please do like and comment if you've enjoyed this reading. Consider subscribing if you resonate with the channel. It would be my honor if you did so. And I will be back with another reading for you for the new moon coming up. Bye for now.